Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Now that the SEC v. Ripple decision from Judge Torres is behind us, although obviously, as you know, things aren't exactly buttoned up here. But even so, now that the biggest question is behind us, the question of what is XRP? Is it something that by the nature of existing just is a security? Well, now the law is no. The law, literally today as I record this, is no, which is why exchanges have eagerly relisted XRP. It didn't take a bunch of in-depth analysis. It took a couple hours and exchanges started to relist XRP. I kid you not. That was amazing, frankly. And so now Ripple is in the process of rebuilding their business in the United States, which was ripped to shreds thanks to the bogus claims from the SEC. Look at this headline from the Crypto Basic. 4,096 U.S. commercial banks may work with Ripple as XRP wins. And so look, the positive news that has come from Ripple, it's never has resulted in positive price action for XRP, because XRP does the same as every other crypto, broadly speaking, of course. That it just moves in tandem with the rest of the market, which is led by Bitcoin. That's pretty much it. But I still firmly believe that as we continue to inch towards, ever so slowly, a mature market, eventually cryptos will sufficiently be judged on their actual merit, on their actual utility. And so the cryptocurrencies that I'm interested in will have multiple developers building on top of them. And the fact that in the case of XRP and the XRP ledger, Ripple is one of the entities building on top of them, that's a positive. That's a big developer, most well-known, I would argue, that's building on top of the XRP ledger. But if XRP were centralized, I wouldn't be as interested. I wouldn't be interested at all if it were centralized. What's the point then? What problem would you actually be solving? It would just be a closed system here. But if you're talking about utilizing something that's decentralized, that didn't exist even 15 years ago, now it's here, utilizing that in a way that actually helps real businesses and real people, might that have staying power? And so look, I've long said that as long as a cryptocurrency solves at least one problem for people or for a business, or type of business, if it's doing one thing that actually offers utility, then for as long as it does that, it's going to continue to exist. Humans tend to not throw out technology that is valuable. It just gets adopted over time. Look at a damn technology bell curve. And also, I'll tell you this, I think that Ripple is going to IPO and probably, well, let me say this. Let me walk that back a little bit. Not probably, possibly this year. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that. But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so let's go into this piece. According to a Ripple executive, the recent landmark ruling declaring XRP a non-security paves the way for U.S. banks and financial institutions to adopt Ripple's solution for cross-border payments. In an interview with CNBC, Stuart Alderati, Ripple's chief legal officer, expressed confidence that American banks would return to Ripple's on-demand liquidity product. Specifically, when asked if the U.S. court ruling would lead to increased interest from banks, Alderati replied, quote, "I think the answer to that is yes," end quote. Yeah, so look, even as news rolls in of proper adoption of on-demand liquidity, thus utilizing XRP as a bridge currency in the United States, even as that rolls in, I don't anticipate those individual press releases, so on and so forth. I don't think that's going to do anything for the price of XRP. But I do think it's one of the things that is going to matter in terms of long-term viability of XRP over time. It's a piece of the puzzle. But there are obviously other developers building on top of the XRP ledger and utilizing XRP for other things. All of those things represent value, which is different than price. When you're talking about price, you're just talking typically about the spot price of XRP on an exchange. When you're talking about value, at least this is how people should talk, this is how I talk, unless I misstep. When I'm talking about value, I'm talking about what problem is it that's actually being solved here that makes people want the thing to exist and want to put money in it. And so I'm seeing, the likes of TapJets and Spin the Bits, and I'm seeing the incredible adoption of NFTs, which aren't going away, by the way. And then, yes, of course, there's Ripple. And those are just some off the top of my head, and there will be more, of course. So as long as I see that's what matters. But this is a piece of the puzzle. And so I love seeing this, even if it doesn't immediately impact the price of XRP. I think that people, as they jump into crypto and they say, oh, look at these several reasons that XRP is useful. I want to for the first time diversify into crypto. Where might I put my money? Might part of that be XRP? I would think that for a lot of people, the answer would probably be yes. Anyway, piece continues. According to the lawyer, Ripple plans to initiate discussions with US-based financial institutions in the next quarter of the year regarding adopting its ODL solution, which leverages XRP for efficient money transfers. Furthermore, Elderati emphasized that the court decision would provide comfort for financial institutions to engage in conversations about the challenges they face in cross-border value transfers, particularly regarding high fees. And he said, quote, hopefully this quarter will generate a lot of conversations in the United States with customers, and hopefully some of those conversations will actually turn it into a real business, end quote. Yeah, I would certainly anticipate that, because Ripple lost just about all the business they were doing in the United States after the SEC made the claims they made. It's just incredible that Ripple's performed as well as they have, because ODL is thriving to a degree that's substantially greater than when the terrible news came down at the end of 2020, and that's without the United States. It's just incredible. It really, truly is here. And then as far as the entities, the number of entities, because they did cite that almost 4,100 number, they pulled that from this account, Wall Street Bulls on Twitter. They know that there's a whopping 4,096 commercial banks and 576 savings and loan associations. So I wanted to fact check that, and it doesn't seem far off, though I don't have exactly the same number. This is the FDIC official government site here, and the data goes, it looks like through end of 2021, and so you can see that there are, they're reporting here 4,237 banks, and then if you go to drop-down menu here and go to savings institutions, now you can see where I'm circling, there's 607. So whether it's 4,096 or 4,237, we're kind of splitting hairs here. I don't know what's resulting in the discrepancy, but I also don't think it matters that much. I just wanted to point it out because I think it's important to kind of look into this stuff. And then there was also this from a couple days ago, and I haven't had a chance to chime in on this, but I did have a couple things to say. So here's the headline from the Crypto Basic. Ripple next win. Speculation rises for potential IPO following SEC victory. After nearly 3 years of legal battles, the U.S. court declared XRP a non-security digital asset, winning against the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. The decision marked a significant win for Ripple, the XRP community, and the broader crypto industry. However, the favorable court outcome has sparked discussions about Ripple's plans in the pipeline, including the potential for an initial public offering. Prominent figures in the XRP community are theorizing that since Ripple surmounted a significant hurdle against the U.S. regulator, followed by crypto exchanges relisting XRP, the next line of endeavor would be an IPO. And look, I think that speculation around that is pretty darn reasonable, especially if you recall that dating back to, I want to say, April, Ripple engaged in what is just known broadly speaking as a roadshow, where they're trying to entice potential investors, so on and so forth, and they put that happy face forward at a time where we didn't have the legal clarity for XRP. They were just apparently that optimistic. And on top of that, expecting a conclusion in the case in short order, which now has happened, at least as it pertains, for clarity for XRP, which is, that's what matters most. And so I'm not pretending to be particularly well connected in the world of crypto or this or that. I don't come from that background or the world of finance or anything like that. But just because of the way in which I've run this channel and the fact that it's grown to where it is, even though it's small in the scheme of YouTube, it's way bigger than I ever thought it would be, approaching 150,000 subscribers. It just is the case that I end up connecting with certain people, and some people do know some people. And so I'm not pretending to be some sort of well-connected dude. But I know some people that actually do know people that are higher up. It doesn't mean that I get fed a bunch of information or anything like that, but I do hear things from time to time. And so there's a particular individual who does have a direct line to the top people at Ripple. And I had heard from this particular individual who I deem to be particularly trustworthy, what he'd gathered is that Ripple actually this year, they're going to be aiming to go for an IPO. Doesn't mean it's going to happen necessarily. There's a lot of moving parts, and that's all I can say on that. All I can say is that's from somebody that I find to be credible, and that's pretty much it. So we'll see. But there's been so many moving parts to this. But hearing that, and then And that was before we had the conclusion of the SEC v. Ripple case. But that, and then you look at, you know, all the other stuff that's included, you know, like I said, you know, the roadshow and all that. I mean, the timing doesn't sound the most crazy. I don't know how long it takes to put this stuff together, but it seems like, you know, behind the scenes, they've got some parts moving, right? So, and maybe it doesn't, who knows? Maybe it spills in the next year. I'm just saying that this is at a minimum something that they'd like to have happen that quickly. And now that there is actual legal clarity, even though there are certain things that do still need to be tied up, maybe it's possible. So then the next question is, well, what does that mean for XRP? And I don't know. Because again, every time there's positive news pertaining to Ripple, you know, it doesn't make the price of XRP budge. It just doesn't. So, and then there's always the argument, it's fair enough, but this would be so big. Okay, well, how many times have we said it's so big? What about when on-demand liquidity launched, which was known as XRapid when it was launched back in the day, back in 2018? That didn't do it. So I'm kind of skeptical of the arguments. I don't see anything that's going to detach XRP from Ripple. But I will just say again, if you're talking about long-term viability, this is something that just, you know, ensures the long-term usage of XRP. To me, that's still something that is important in terms of cementing, you know, the viability of XRP. Just broadly speaking, it's one more thing. So that's the way that I'm looking at it. I don't know for sure if this is going to happen. We'll see. Just take what I said for what it's worth. I don't know. It's just word through the grapevine. But either way, as far as I'm concerned, the best days for XRP are yet ahead, and just wait until we enter crypto euphoria again, which roughly happens every several years. Now with XRP having legal clarity, let's just say I'm optimistic. Let me know what you think, though, in the comments section below. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!